Hi, I'm Denise from MathforAll, where everyone can learn more about math. Today, I will be continuing our studies on lines. Who knew there was so much to learn about them? We will study the slope-intercept and point-slope forms of lines. Before we start, please print out a fill-in-the-blank notes page that follows this video so you will have the information at your fingertips at MathforAll.net. Let's get right into it. You have seen linear equations that look like this. Y equals negative 2x plus 1.5. In a previous video, I showed you how to make a table to solve this and then plot those points and make a straight line. But equations written in the form y equals mx plus b give us all the information we need to plot these without a table. Y equals mx plus b is called the slope-intercept form, and you should memorize it because it is popular and powerful. The m is always in front of the x. It's our slope. Remember, slope is rise over run. And the b with no x is the y-intercept, which is where the line crosses the y-axis. We'll take this one. Y equals negative 2x plus 1.5. Our slope is negative 2, or negative 2 over 1. Our y-intercept is 1.5, with the actual point being 0, 1.5. To graph him, we could always make a table, but we are going to graduate to reading off the information from the equation. After we have the slope and the y-intercept, we start backwards with the y-intercept and then plot that. For our example, I go up from the origin, 1.5. Make a nice point there, halfway between the 1 and the 2. Next, we'll use the slope. From our dot, follow rise over run to find another point. We have a slope of negative 2, so we remember our rise goes down 2 and to the right 1. Don't go backwards 1, only that 2 is negative. Put another point there and draw a nice line between them. That feels a lot easier than making a table. Here's another one that looks a little different. Y equals 4/5 x. He looks similar to y equals mx plus b. Is he officially in y equals mx plus b? Yes. Let's dissect this to get the info we need. The slope, or the m, in front of the x is that 4/5, up 4 over 5. So how about the b, the y-intercept? There's nothing there, so it is at 0. We could write it as 4/5 x plus 0. Then we could see it better. To graph him, I'll start at the end of the equation with the y-intercept, which is 0, meaning it's at the origin here. Using the slope, from that, I'll go up 4 and then over 5 to my next point. Line through them and it's done. This slope-intercept form of a line is vital to know how to use. As I mentioned before, it is the most popular and powerful form of an equation of a line. But there are two other forms of line equations, point-slope and standard form. Today, we will also learn point-slope form. My next video tackles standard form. Point-slope form looks like this. Y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. Eek! Can we go back to y equals mx plus b? No, there's no giving up. We can take a deep breath and know that I will break this down for us so we don't have to be scared about it. As the name implies, we can use this form when we have any point on the line, not just the y-intercept, and the slope. Say we have a point, x1, y1, and a slope m. Here's where all the information goes. x1 here, y1 here, and the slope is always m. I'll show you how it works. What is the point-slope form of the line through negative 2, 6 with a slope of negative 4? For this one, I'll label each of these. The x1 just means it's the x value of point number 1. The y value of the point is y1. The slope is m. Let's plop those babies into the crazy formula. Y minus y1 is y minus 6 equals m or negative 4. Parentheses, x minus x1 or x minus negative 2, end parentheses. We'll clean it up slightly by turning the minus negative into a positive. For y minus 6 equals negative 4 times x plus 2. Maybe the trickiest part about this is that the x's and y's change signs. Other than that, it's not too bad. Now we get to go backwards to see if we can really see what's going on. What's a point and a slope of a line with the equation of y plus 10 equals 2/7 parentheses x minus 9? We need to get the x1, y1, and the slope off of this. The slope is right there in front of the parentheses, 2/7. x1 is not too bad either. We just have to remember that the formula has a minus sign, so we just pull 9, not negative 9. Now for the y1, we're so close. We need y minus a number, and we have a plus 10. To get it to fit into my formula, I need it to be y minus parentheses negative 10 for a y1 of negative 10. A point from this formula is 9, negative 10, and the slope is 2/7. We could go into all the math, but we just need to remember to change the sign of the y1 and the x1. Now, let's put it all together with this example. What's the slope-intercept form of a line with a slope of negative 1 going through the point negative 5, negative 4? To tackle this, we will use point-slope form, then transform it into slope-intercept form. We cannot, I repeat, we cannot go immediately to slope-intercept form because we don't have the b. So we put in our point and our slope into point-slope form. Y minus negative 4 equals negative 1 parentheses x minus negative 5. Slightly simplifying, we have y plus 4 equals negative parentheses x plus 5. To get this into sweet y equals mx plus b, we'll do some algebra. Distribute the slope to the x's by multiplying the x and the 5 by that negative 1, or just change the sign of both of them. We have y plus 4 equals negative x minus 5. We're so close to y equals mx plus b, but we are not there yet. That y needs to be by himself. Since the 4 is annoying it, subtract 4 from both sides. Negative 5 minus 4 is negative 9. Y equals negative x minus 9. Beautiful. It's now in slope-intercept form. Our intercept is at negative 9, and we needed to figure it out with our point-slope form, though we will learn another technique in another video. Before we call these forms mastered, I'd like to show you how these two are related. I'll graph the slope-intercept form, y equals negative x minus 9. Recall, I start backwards with my y-intercept of negative 9. He just goes straight down here, just past the negative 8. Then, from that, I use my slope. That negative sign is an invisible negative 1 for negative 1 over 1, or 1 over negative 1. Either way. Let's do that. Up 1, backwards 1. Line through that with a straight edge. Amazing! Back to our original question from it seems like ages ago. Our line has to go through negative 5, negative 4, with a slope of negative 1. Look at the graph and you'll see that the line does hit negative 5, negative 4. Impressive! You have just been exposed to super important concepts about lines. It's up to you to really absorb them. So, print out a worksheet from my website, MathforAll.net, where you can do more problems like the ones you just watched. You have some things to memorize, like the names and formulas for the two forms we learned. The more you use them, the easier they will get. When you're ready, go ahead and watch some more of my videos so you can keep learning more about math.